What's going on? Welcome to Totally Blitz podcast. We're about to break down week 13 of the NFL, give out our picks and predictions, and sprinkle in some bets along the way. But before we jump into it, we're always going to break down the Thursday night game. I saw the Cowboys beat the Seahawks in a nail biter, 41-35. That came down to the last drives. As always, go down, like and subscribe. Comment your thoughts on Thursday night and comment your picks. I'm Paul. Pick a win. I'm Concha, and I'm joined with.
Hey man, you already know it's your boy Kev Waterboy boy. And I'm not gonna lie to you, Paul. Yesterday I was sick as a dog. I was so motherfucking sick yesterday. So like I'm rewatching this game right now, and this shit was fucking beautiful. That stop on 4th and 1 by the fucking Cowboys in the fourth quarter, in the middle of the fourth, when you needed that, down 5 points. This game was fucking phenomenal. This was a good game. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Yeah, I mean, fucking, what was it? 76 points scored between the both of them. Definitely went over whatever the fuck the total was. But I mean, at the very like I think it was the second play. The first play was like a 2 yard run, and then the second play, Geno Smith, this DK Metcalf streaking booty naked down the sideline. Blanche
Yeah.
doesn't bite like Blanche does the wrong thing, and the safety goes the opposite direction, and he's just wide open deep. And at that moment, I was like, "Fuck!" Like this
And
is
that was a great throw too, because he caught that right in the middle of the seam of that shit. So when it was time to take it up, he was out of there.
Yeah, I was like, and I have a league where I have DK, and I actually benched DK this week because he's been stringing along like 6 point games, like week in and week out. So I was like, fuck it, fuck, I'm done with DK. I benched him. I do have a good backup to put in, don't get me wrong, but then he drops 37 points. I also had CD Lamb starting in that same fantasy league, so I would have had 70 points between the both of them if I would have started them both. Both I started CD, so I'm okay with the 33.
It's the beauty of fantasy. It happens.
Definitely did, but I mean, DK's been missing for weeks, and this was his I don't know what all his career games is, but this is arguably like his best game ever. Motherfucker caught 3 touchdowns, 134 yards.
Yeah, I've never seen DK ball out like he did this week. Maybe they had a connection. Maybe Gino just like really knew where DK was going to be at, and DK was ready for it. But I didn't expect this from him. He definitely played one of his best games I've ever seen him play.
Both offenses getting over 400 total yards. It was like 817 yards combined by the both of them. And I mean, Geno Smith throwing an interception and cash that prop. CeeDee Lamb scoring a touchdown, cash that prop. And it came down to the fourth quarter. It was 35-27, 14 minutes left in the fourth quarter. And I was sitting there like, bro, like we've seen little glimpses of the Cowboys defense, but they didn't really do much. They got that one interception, but they weren't doing much throughout the game until that fourth quarter. I felt like that was the first time I saw like Parsons, Lawrence, the defensive line actually getting to Geno Smith. Like they might not have been sacks, but they were definitely incompletions because he was about a split second away from getting sacked a couple times to like really save this game for the Cowboys. And then the offense just kept their head down and doing what the fuck they were doing. Didn't matter what the score was. They just kept doing what they were doing, and eventually it paid off.
No, that's tough as fuck. I thought this game was phenomenal. I'm so mad I missed it, but I agree with you 100%. And we don't know where the defense is at with this game. But once fourth quarter time came, they woke the fuck up and they figured it out. And this Dallas team just looked great.
It shit like shout out to the Seahawks because they're 6-6, but this was a game. If this was this, I got the feelings of like if this was the Cowboys in the playoffs, like like this is the game. This is the Cowboys I'm expecting in the playoffs, low key a little bit, where they have all these numbers that show that they're the best on both sides of the ball, but then for whatever reason, they play a close ass game, nail biter.
Nah, that shit is fire. We love to see it.
And then anything else on this game before we jump into the? I went 2-0 on the props. If you would have cashed that with me.
I swear, one thing I did hear was Aaron Rodgers was speaking so highly of Dak Prescott the other day. She was like, "Yeah, man." He was like, "Yeah, man. He does a lot of the little things right when it comes to playing quarterback. A lot of stuff you don't really see that much. So that's one of the takes on why he's having such a phenomenal season. He needs to keep up the good work. So shout out Aaron Rodgers, and shout out motherfucking big dog for putting in the grind and making it happen. Because motherfucking, we got some that team has some scary motherfuckers.
Yeah, I mean, go look at his last 5 games. It's 375, 3 touchdowns, 400 yards, 4 touchdowns, 200 yards, 2 touchdowns. But this was the blowout of Carolina where they didn't really play the third and fourth quarter. And in Washington, 330, 4 touchdowns, 300 last night, 3 touchdowns. That's
That's just good.
that's just crazy. But onto the slate here, Kev. Sunday football. We're gonna start off with some stinking ass games. I'm trying to get the ugly games out first, so we can talk the good shit later. But we have starting off. The Commanders are at home taking on the Miami Dolphins. We're a 9.5 point favorite on the road. I mean, I don't like us being such a big favorite. I wouldn't bet the spread, but I'm not worried about this game. Like I feel like there's nothing we can do. We're just gonna win this game. The media is gonna say like the Dolphins only beat bad teams, blah 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 blah. But like if we lose the game, they'll be like, oh, Dolphins are even bigger frauds. So like we're not in like we just have to keep winning games, and I don't think the media is ever gonna give us the credit until playoff time. How do you feel about the Commanders game? Commanders Dolphins.
Man, I'm tired of saying speaking good on the Commanders. Every week I say oh, Eric Bieniemy has something figured out. He's gonna help his team get to another win and show that number one offense. Man, ever since I seen that stat, they've been looking like a normal Commanders team. So I'm definitely taking my big dog on the other side.
And I mean, low key, I think Tua's second in yards and Howell's first in yards. So this would be the number 1 and 2 quarterbacks in the league going at it in yardage wise.
But
And
that's fine. No matter about that.
then the ugliest game on the slate, arguably, back up real quick. Mac Jones will be benched this game. Bailey Zapp will be the starter. Patriots at home. They're 5.5 point underdog against the Los Angeles Chargers. I mean, the Chargers are also 4-7. They're not too far behind in the loss column. But is this the game where we see the Justin Herbert and the Chargers just dominate a shitty ass Patriots team? And are the Patriots low key tanking for a top pick next year?
Mm, you kind of go either or.
You trusted in Bailey Zapp and Bill Belichick? They just lost to
Nah,
the fucking Giants last week, bro.
nah, I'm no. The only time I slightly trusted them was when they got that win over the Bills with 12 seconds left. But the second, what's your favorite saying? The second you have two quarterbacks, you have no quarterback. I can't root for nobody with no quarterback.
But have you seen the fucking promo for this game? Like the like NFL team versus team? Kev,
Hmm.
have you seen the NFL picture for this game? Like the team versus team picture for the Patriots Chargers?
Nah.
So it's Justin Herbert on the Charger side. Like it's always the quarterback as the picture. They got fucking Bill Belichick on the picture on the fucking screen, and they're like, "Fuck it!" Like they're not like this is the only team where they putting the coach in the front.
That's real.
All right, Kev. Let's see if we make it through the 1 o'clocks here. Steelers 6.5. This is the biggest favorite all year, I think. 6.5 point favorites. Steelers taking on the Arizona Cardinals in Pittsburgh, Kev. How do you feel about this no Matt Canada led offense in the Steelers now? Taking on the Cardinals who just got blown the fuck out by the Rams.
They turned all the way up, no rap cap. I think they turned. Oof. They turned up no Matt Canada. They had their best offensive game you've seen in like 50 games or something like that. Immediately put their foot to the gas. The Kenny Pickett's collaboration was working quite well. I think this year they might add more AI, more restaurants, like if we were to survey students and we could see the tedious things they would love to have in one place, that'd be pretty fun.
That would. Damn, you completely out on the Kyler Murray squad? Was last week just like, yo, no, fuck it. This is the same Cardinals.
So I want to say I'm all the way out on Kyler. I just trusted him, and he only looked good against us. I mean, they got fucked up last week. And the Steelers team, I'm expecting them to consistently play good defense as this offense finds himself without Matt Canada. But here's my thing about the Steelers offense that I did like. They have like two offensive coordinators. Like one's the play caller, and the other one's like he does whatever else that you're supposed to do as offensive coordinator. But like they like 50-50 and then they go on half and half and like they look good last week. If they can do it, they'll do that again. Kyler Hoop.
Yeah, but the Steelers defense going up against this Cardinals team, I don't they still like the Bengals just had Jake Browning and like Jake Browning he looked terrible at some points, he looked okay at others, but this is Kyler Murray who I can hate on him all I want, but he's playing for his fucking job. Like he knows if this team ends up with the top two pick, they're gonna either go Drake May or Caleb Williams. And
Yeah.
he does not want to lose that job because he already has the fat contract coming off an injury. Maybe if he plays his ass off, they can trade him for something. But like again, like Broncos were the last team with Russ, and a lot of people were clowning him. I just can't see another franchise being like, yeah, we're gonna handcuff ourselves to a core. Look at Watson and the like in the Browns. Like, you don't want to handcuff yourself to someone who already has a contract, or like so. I think Kyler finds a way to ends up getting a win here. The Steelers defense still allows so many yardage. Like I think Kyler, his scramble ability is able to turn some of these field goals into points. And coming off and like this is the first. I don't. The Steelers should not be 6.5 point favorites. I think even if they don't win, even if Steelers win, they're not winning by a touchdown or more. Like give me the Cardinals plus 6.5 as like one of my best bets.
Yeah, I could respect that too. But 6.5 is pretty well. I'd give it like 3.5 to make it a little juicy. But 6 is crazy.
And then let's go into divisional game. We got a lot of those coming up, but divisional game, Titans, 1 point home dog going up against the Colts. I mean, Colts are low key creeping into the playoff picture as the season's coming to an end. Gardner Minshew finding ways to get dubs. Titans, they're at home. All four of their wins are at home this year. Vrabel as a home dog as well, tie that in. And that's why I'm saying to the world right now, give me the Titans +1 as another best bet. I think the Titans low key. Mike Vrabel as a home dog. You know how much we love him as on this show as a home dog.
I do love them boys as a home dog. But what is this Colts defense like against the run?
The Titans are either the best or the second best against the run in NFL. No Jonathan Taylor. I know Zach Moss when no Jonathan Taylor was even a thought. Zach Moss was like top 3 in the league and like, it was cutting up on everybody. But if the Titans that have one of the best run defenses can stop Zach Moss, it's going to be hard for Gardner. Gardner's going to have to play his best game, I think, to get the win.
Yeah, and like haven't they been streaking? And aren't they like on a little streak right now?
Who, the Colts or
The Colts.
Yeah, no, the Colts are on a 3-game win streak. They again, the opposition is the Panthers, the Patriots, and the Bucks.
Yeah, they got something cooking over there. I could trust them.
So you're going with the Colts?
No, I think I'm about to take my dog Vrabel's a home dog. You know what you fucking get. And coming off a win, maybe they could double it up.
And all right, so we're both rocking with the Titans as a home dog. And then we got Texans, 3-point favorite at home against the Broncos. You were just talking about streaks. The Broncos, I think, are on a 5-game winning streak right now. Wins over the Browns, the Vikings, the Bills, the Chiefs, and the Packers. And the Texans, they just lost last week to the Jaguars. They missed a 58-yard field goal to tie the game. How do you feel about this game? I mean, it's a closer spread than I would have thought, but Texans 3-point favorite. Broncos, can they keep the win streak alive and make it 6?
Nah. I mean, the Texans have been losing some really close games, especially after that fight against the Jaguars. Yeah, you can't even call it a game. I call it a fight against that Jaguars team last week. I think they're hungry. How do you think they're coming into this week?
I think they're hungry, but also, like, the Broncos are playing Broncos football. They're running the fucking ball. Their defense has completely flipped the switch. Defense that went from letting the Dolphins drop 70 on them. I think they got like 8 forced turnovers in the last 4 games. Like they're averaging 2 turnovers a game right now on this win streak. Like their defense, and there's just against the likes of like Mahomes. I mean, like after Mahomes, there's like Josh Allen, Dobbs, Jordan Love, but still, like they're not getting beat like they were earlier this year. The Texans, though, like other than the Cardinals game, CJ Stroud has had like a perfect season. So I don't know. I want to say this is an easy peasy. Give me the Texans, but I have a weird gut feeling that the Broncos somehow squeak out a win here just because they're going to kick field goals and play good defense. How about you, Kev?
Hmm?
What's your final thoughts on the Texans Broncos?
I think the Broncos are really. It's good being a county, an owner of real estate in Bronco County because the price is going back up. But I think this is where they kind of slow down. They kind of hit the train, and this is when and then they can invite people to come out and buy. But the Broncos are the Broncos are not a bad team, and they look good when they're winning. They look good when they're rolling. When Russ is scrambling, it keeps the defenses on their toes. But I might have to take the Texans in this one because this is a scrappy young team. If CJ Stroud and Tank Dell continue to play the way they're playing, Damian Pierce finds a way to make a presence. It's the tight end. I think I met her last week. She's cool. So yeah, there's the Broncos is cool, but I got Babe on them.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to rock with the Texans here only because if the Broncos weren't on a 5 game losing streak, I mean a 5 game winning streak, I wouldn't like that. They're not a team I could see going on 6, 7. They're maybe I could be wrong on them, but like law of averages. Like you're on a 5 game winning streak, this is gonna be the game you lose.
And I meant to say the Texans, not Babe on them. I don't know what the fuck I'm on. Real tired motherfucking shit.
But our next game, no problemo. Next game, another semi-close spread, 4.5 point spread. Saints are 4.5 point dog at home, taking on the Detroit Lions, who are coming off an ass whooping that they got. Not an ass whooping, but they got smacked in the mouth by the Packers on Thanksgiving. Now they're going to the Superdome to take on the Saints, who are coming off a loss to your Falcons, Kev. How do you feel about this one?
Hey man, sometimes you gotta lose. But
Sometimes
who you think? Who? I kind of want to come with it crazy. How you coming?
the one thing that scares me is what Jared Goff am I getting? Is this the Jared Goff that showed us early in the year that he might lead this Detroit Lions into unknown territory as the playoffs? Or is just the Jared Goff that's throwing 3 interceptions, 2 interceptions, 4 interceptions? What Jared Goff am I getting, Kev? Am I getting potential MVP candidate Jared Goff, or am I getting the Jared Goff that got shipped out of town to the Lions? Because this is a Saints defense where if you fuck up against a Saints defense, you will lose. You will get blown out. Not blown out, but you will have a terrible game. How do you feel?
Oh man, it is kind of what it is in this situation. Running back, who we talking about?
The Saints and the Lions.
Oh, I'm sorry, that niggas. Man, the Saints ain't shit. Number two motherfuckers. But the Lions, though, they've been stringing along W's. They they coming off of that L against the Panthers last week. Not Panthers, the L against the Packers
On
on prime
Thanksgiving.
time. On prime time. So like they're definitely gonna be coming hungry, ready to fuck shit up. So I can see my dogs getting a win on this one. Even though I would love to with my I would love to just talk shit on the Saints because how bad they are. But I'm like, nah, I trust the Lions to go ahead and clean up business real quick. You see what we did to them last week.
Yeah, but what Jared Goff are we getting with the Lions? Is it the 3 interceptions, 2 fumbles, or is it a Jared Goff that actually was in low key in the MVP race for a little bit? Because this, yo, Kev,
Yeah,
you never. What Jared Goff are we getting? Are we getting the good Jared Goff, or are we getting a Jared Goff that gets 2 fumbles, 3 interceptions?
I think we're getting the mid Jared Goff because, like you said last week, this Saints defense can turn over the ball. Everybody talks about Jesse Bates because he's him, but nobody talks about Tyrann Mathieu, his 2 interceptions that he received. So it was. I feel like we're going to get a mid Jared Goff. We're not going to get the fantastic 6 touchdown Jared Goff, but we're gonna get a Jared Goff that can win us the game.
Yeah, I just hope we don't fuck up the game because you can run the ball against the Saints, and that's what the Lions can do to win. But if they give the ball to Jared Goff, I'm gonna be pissed because we're gonna. I could see 2 interceptions from Jared Goff because this Saints defense comes to play. Well, I'm ugly. I'm gonna ride the fucking Lions here, even though I really don't want to. Are you going with the Lions as well?
Yeah, I got my Lions in this one.
And then the next game, Kev, is your Falcons. This is the last 1 o'clock game. The Jets at home, 2 point dog against the Falcons. Tim Boyle will be starting for the Jets. No Zach Wilson still. Desmond Riddler is the starter for the Falcons. How do you feel about your Falcons Jets game, Kev?
I mean, this is one of those other games where like turnovers happen. You just got to capitalize on times. You don't turn the ball over because no matter how much struggling this Jets offense will do, their defense is still legit. May not be top five like y'all expected, but it's still legit. So when we be doing things to kind of like maneuver, I can see my I can see my Falcons figuring things out, running his mother trucker, not throwing the ball to throw turnover, hella turnovers. But I'd like us to figure something out. But that's why I'm taking my Falcons.
The Falcons are my other best bet -2, just because the Jets are really good against the pass, but they're really bad against the run, and that's just the matchup that the Falcons I think should lean on and carry them to an easy win. And have you seen Tim Boyle play quarterback? Like Tim Boyle, if you thought Zach Wilson was bad, Tim Boyle is way worse than Zach Wilson. And then to start off our 4 o'clock games, Kev, we have the Bucks versus Panthers. Bucks are a 5 point favorite, kind of a big spread for the NFC South. Who do you think is winning this? This is a shitty bowl right here. We got the Bucks and the Panthers. How do you feel about it?
Who we got? The Panthers versus the Bucks.
Yeah, and it's in Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay 5 point favorite.
I mean, that's pretty fair. I'd take the Bucks on this one. You know, the booty pirates. They're not as terrible as that make them seem. They're usually a little bit worse. But I like this to be a game to step up for because you don't want to be the dude that continues on this little streak of Bill Belichick winning and shit. So
They
I feel
did
like they're gonna be petty. And
did fire Frank Reich though for the Panthers. Do you think the coach? Do you think that gives them the coach gone bump?
yeah, for sure.
So do you think with no more Frank Reich, do you think the Panthers are gonna come in and get a sneak a win? They say fuck Frank Reich, or do you think they just stink altogether?
Uh, I think they Bucks fuck the Panthers up. I think they figure out what the holes in their defense are because a lot of them, and it's like that the whole game. You
All
like
right,
that? It's a question.
yeah, I can see that. Just I think the Panthers could low key sneak a win here. No more Frank Reich, and the Bucks defense is arguably the worst against the pass. Like I think we actually see Bryce Young in the passing game look pretty decent for the first time forever.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, you like this game to be a good one though.
I think it will be just like the Bucks defense allows teams to score, and the Panthers have a solid defense. So like I really could see where a lot of people think the Bucks are going to blow them out at a 5 point spread. I don't think the Bucks can really. Their defense won't allow them to blow out anybody. I'm gonna lean Panthers here. I'm gonna take the +5, and I'm gonna take the Panthers.
Really, I mean, I'm expecting Baker to get a dub after a while, so I'm gonna take the Booty Pirates plus 1 win. I'm not trusting it. Anderson Tampa, can't trust it.
That's true. Tampa, being in Tampa does scare me, but all right. If Marcus is here, he'll be proud of me. And then we get on to arguably the best game on the slate. Probably should have been a primetime game, but it isn't. Eagles versus 49ers, Kev. NFC rematch and maybe potential NFC championship game again. And get this, the Eagles are a 3-point underdog at home against the 49ers. How do you feel about this game, Kev? 49ers Eagles NFC rematch.
So this game is supposed to be electric. It's supposed to be crazy fire. But this is another game on this fucking path of destruction that the Eagles are on right now, which is insane. Chiefs, Bills, 49ers. Like these dudes are literally like taking out all the competition on the way to the top. Like it's crazy what they're doing right now. Am I tripping?
No, because Dolphins, Cowboys are also on that in this win streak they're on. Like these are all currently sitting number one seeds, playoff, if not number one seeds in the division, playoff teams. Maybe not the Bills anymore, but
Mm-hmm.
but yeah, no, they definitely and they're all wins. They all have they know the tush push is a motherfucking play where it's always at play. Like it's almost unfair because you have an offense where you get stops on third down. Like they're not even playing for 10 yards in 3 downs. They're playing for like 8 yards in 3 downs. Because once you get with a 4-2, 4-1, like we know what we're gonna do and we're gonna keep the drive going. And it's unfair almost, but it's you can't get mad at them. They learn to play. If everyone else could do it, they could. They would. And we've seen teams try, and that shit hasn't worked for them like it does for the Eagles. So I don't think it should be banned. It did. They just are the best team at it. The 49ers, though, this is the rematch. This is the game where Brock Purdy getting hurt, backup getting hurt. CMC was getting ready to play fucking quarterback for a little bit. Like Fred Warner, Trent Williams hurt. Uh, fucking like this is the game with no more excuses in Philly. 49ers are favorite in on the road in Philadelphia, which is kind of crazy. It's given the fact that the Eagles are 10-1, but I'm rocking 49ers, bro. I think they're coming in with a different intensity. Like they've both teams been talking back and forth on social media. Boo hoo, get over it, and the whole like, oh, it would have been different if just the usual shit. So I think the 49ers, they were my pick for the NFL Super Bowl for the NFC this side. I'm sticking with it.
Mm-hmm. This is gonna be a close game. It's always a close game with these motherfuckers. And I think the difference between the 49ers and all these other teams that the Eagles have fought, they have not dealt with a defense that goes as crazy as the 49ers defense yet. Definitely have done some great things and have definitely beat some great dudes. But they haven't dealt with this defense of Fred Warner, Nick Bosa.
And
What's my dog?
Hargreaves on that team now. He was on the Eagles last year. This is low key. I don't know if they left on bad terms or what, but he definitely went to the 49ers in the offseason.
They got hitters, man. They got their safeties back there. So I think this defense is what separates them from a lot of other great teams. And that's why I think I can agree with you. I can pick the 49ers. And it's also the Eagles play a lot of close games. The Vikings went 11-0 in close games last year. But that's not normal. This year they're 5-5. I think the law of averages might catch the Eagles on this one.
And some Eagles fans do think I've heard someone say that even if the Eagles lose, like that would low key be it's almost like a boxer taking an L early. It gets that chip on their shoulder of like, yeah, like okay, like next time I see this motherfucker. So like if they do take an L, low key might be a good thing for the Eagles. Like, all right, we get the loss out of the way in the regular season. Now when we see them in the playoffs, where We're the ones with the chip on the shoulder, not them.
Yeah, that's fact. Let's see what Kyle Shanahan has picked up. I think this is going to come down to coaching.
Only thing that scares me though is the fact that the Vegas made the Eagles 3-point dogs at home. Like that.
Oh, that's terrible.
That's the thing that scares me. I'm just like it's almost like that's crazy. Usually you get your 3-point favorite if you're like just because of the home field. Home field advantage gives you that little 3 points. So like you tell me the 49ers are 6-point favorite damn near. So I don't know. Like
I
Philly,
think they want to die.
Philly's gonna feel that. I think Philly, especially how big gambling is nowadays. Like the fans going to the games, are like they made us fucking underdogs.
I think it's going to be a fact. I think it's going to be me personally. I would have put it like a 1.5. I pick them.
Pick them, make it a one, even odds.
Yeah, I would have did that, but we'll see.
Then next game, last 4 o'clock game, Rams versus Browns. Stafford and them coming off the ass whooping they gave the Cardinals. The Browns coming off their own ass whooping against the Broncos. Joe Flacco will be the starter for the Browns.
Wow.
Joe Flacco will be out there again in his NFL career, but the Browns defense kind of just needs somebody that can at least play quarterback. Like, and I think Flacco, being the veteran he is, he could learn the playbook kind of quickly and all that stuff, and they just tell him throw the short ones, just throw some short ones. Like we don't need you to go out there and play hero. And I feel like as long as he don't turn over the ball, this Browns defense is going to get them keep this game close.
Oh yeah. I mean,
Then you also got Aaron Donald, who sees a 45-year-old statue standing back there.
that's a tough game. I think his Browns defense can keep it close, but Joe Flacco's been figuring. I'm not Joe Flacco. Matthew Stafford's been figuring out ways to use his weapons, so it's scary. This is one of those games that if the Browns can keep it 13-10, they can win this game. But if the Rams even score 17, oh, this game is out of reach for them.
I could see that. And the Rams defense goes against Flacco does scare me a little bit, but Stafford has thrown so many interceptions. Like the Josh Allen's getting all the heat right now for all the interceptions, but like Stafford's up there with the amount of interceptions he's thrown this year.
And he's missed a couple games.
Yeah, that's even more fuel to the fire right there. So I could definitely see the Browns. I'm gonna say one of my best bets will be the Browns +4. I don't know if they're actual like dog potential, but I don't want to give myself a Rams money line +4 like on the back. So I'm going to ride the Browns to win out also on the road. Defense finds a way to win.
Hell yeah. I like it.
Primetime game coming off Thursday, Thanksgiving game. Packers taking on the Chiefs. Chiefs coming off their loss last week. I think they've strung a couple losses in a row, haven't they? Chiefs coming off. Oh no, they won.
No.
They beat the Raiders. They lost to the Eagles the week before. But
Okay.
they beat the Raiders. Pretty good win too. But you got the Packers coming off their big win on Thanksgiving against the Lions. Packers at home here. I don't know if Taylor Swift will be in attendance though for Kelsey.
I forgot we still do that. That's funny. But I'm a firm believer that for 10 plays a game, any game, Jordan Love looks like a dog. I think last game he looked great for like 3-4 quarters. But there's gonna be 10 plays where he just looks phenomenal. Like he looks like, yo, this is the guy I want succeeding Aaron Rodgers. But I don't know if those plays are gonna matter in this game if the Chiefs receivers catch the ball. The Chiefs receivers catch the ball, I don't see them slowing down.
That is true. They're MVS. That was a couple games ago, but that shit still haunts you. That shit's still there.
Literally, like all they have to do is catch the ball. They can catch the ball because they get good looks. He might. I feel like Pat Mahomes throws that bitch hard as fuck. I want to be able to catch some bitches, but that's why I don't pay. They don't pay me. They would laugh at me if I went on the field with y'all boys. So like, I don't know. They can do that, and then they have great receivers like Rashid Rice. That's a young receiver. I actually heard a story from my dog Devin that Pat Mahomes kind of scouted him his damn self because he was working out in Texas and Rashid Rice was out there, and it was like, and then he ended up telling general manager like, I need you to keep a lookout on him. Then that's why they ended up getting him in like the second round, even though he was projected to go like third or fourth.
Yeah, he had a good game last week, like 100 and something yards, touchdown. They're kind of finding everything without the Tyreek Hill. You still get the Kelsey catches and yards, but he's finding other receivers to kind of like Darius Tony might get 2, Rice might get 5, MVS might get 3 or 4. Tucker's like 6'4". He's like their big red zone guy, and he might get a few looks too.
Why did I immediately think you was talking Justin? I was like, damn, Justin Tucker, nice like that. Okay.
No, it's crazy. I think the other guy, the Chiefs receivers, like Jason Tucker. They're not related, but their names were very close.
I was say, I didn't know Justin Tucker was a big ass dude like that.
I think, but Tucker looked kind of big for a kicker. When I see him, he be standing like head to head with other players. I was like, you kind of tall.
No, that's funny as fuck.
I am taking the Chiefs though. I think Jordan Love, like you said, it's 10 plays he'll look good, but this Chiefs defense is really good. Like Chris Jones is a difference maker for him, and I think yeah. So I think Jordan Love might make a few mistakes this game. I mean, he's still his first year starting, so it'll happen when you go up against these good defenses.
I'm about to say this just isn't the game for them to win. I think maybe if the Chiefs were like already like on a win streak and they were a little lackadaisical, then this is one of those games that are close for no reason. But nah, it's not this week.
Then we have Monday night primetime game. It was supposed to be a banger. Oh my god, it's supposed to be a good one. It's the Trevor Lawrence Jaguars 9-point favorite because we got Jake Browning still starting for the Bengals. Joe Burrow's done for the season. This is supposed to be such a great game, man. This is because like 2 years ago, before Doug Peterson took over, it was a Urban Meyer led Jaguars beat the Bengals on primetime and Thursday night football to get their first win of the season or second win. It was a big upset. So I wanted to see the rematch. Unfortunately, to get Jake Browning for the Bengals, and it's a 9-point spread. Everyone's thinking the Jaguars are going to blow them out. But it is prime time. Crazy things happen. How do you feel, Kev?
Jaguars are at home.
Yeah, Jags are at home, too. That's a big deal. And on top of it, they look good against the last few games. They look pretty fucking good. They beating the Texans and then beating the Titans when they beat the shit out of Titans. Like it was like 34-7 in the fourth quarter.
Hell yeah. The Jaguars at home have been a very, very good team. So even if Joe Burrow and the boys were here, I think I still would have took them. But it could have. I think this is something you can't like just automatically take the Bengals out just because they don't. Because I feel like this is one of those games, like you said, it's prime time. They could get scrappy out of nowhere.
Not against his Jags defense.
Not against the Jags defense.
The real Josh Allen resides in Jacksonville, baby. The real Josh Allen. That's actually, I mean, fucking. I think he's up there in the stats, right? I mean, sacks right now.
I say he got a game-winning sack not too long ago.
Like forced fumbles. He's a game. Devin Lloyd, second year out of Utah, is killing it for linebacker. Like Trayvon Walker is making plays.
And they get a lot of takeaways.
Yeah, they're like top 3 in takeaways. Like I just think Browning. If this is Joe Burrow, I think you're right. I think I might still. If the Jaguars' defense is low key like Chiefs-esque this season, where they're just like they got a solid defense and a solid offense.
Yeah, I gotta agree with you on that. You heard me?
What?
I said I gotta agree with you on that. I think this game would have been great to see in the playoffs. Jaguars, Bengals, Joe Burrow, Trevor Lawrence, quarterbacks of the future. Like, it should have been fine. But instead, we got to wait for it. So, but in the meantime, we're going to see the Jaguars put that thumping on them because their offense has been rolling these last few weeks. Calvin Ridley's been on a tear. Trevor Lawrence been eating ETN. Yeah, this is going to be another good game for the Jaguars.
All right, that wraps up the slate. But before we go, as always, we're going to give you 2 locks and 1 dog. And keep the good time. I think we both went 2-0 on our locks last week, so we killed it there. Both went 0-1 on our dogs, so we're gonna have to pick a good winner this week. As always, Kev, you start us off.
Yeah, I probably will. I appreciate y'all opening that thing to me. You do it so well. But for my picks, I think I have to go. For my picks, I think I'll have to go Chargers, and Lions. And I'm starting to realize these are like my safety blankets because I trust them in a lot of matchups because of how scrappy of teams they are. And on top of that, their offenses are really good when they choose to be. So
Yeah.
I'll always take a scrappy team that can score points is on my locks and stuff. And then for my dogs, I'm pretty sure I only picked one, but my home dog this week has got to be my boy Vrabel. Got to take that boy up the let's see what he's talking about. But I like him. I like him. I like his team to continue to will, especially after having a good game last week. I can't remember if they had a good game the week before. I don't think so. But let's see if they can continue willing things forward to beat the Colts.
So for my locks, I'm gonna go to Falcons over the Jets, Kev. They treated me
I
well.
was thinking about it. I was thinking about it.
They treated me well in the past. I think I'm gonna stick with it. And the Jets team, Tim Boyle starting quarterback. Like y'all think Zach Wilson was a bad quarterback, then you saw Tim Boyle and the Jets fans like, oh, hold on now, we may have been a little quick on Zach Wilson. We may have pulled the trigger a little quick, because Tim Boyle is not an NFL quarterback. And then our next lock will be I'm gonna go Chiefs over Packers. I think it's just
Nice. Good
easy
luck.
one, an easy one. I don't gotta sweat it. It gives me something to enjoy on prime time, even if it ends up in a blowout. I can sit there and like gloat.
You discussed me, Paul. You was quiet when you was bringing that one up. I didn't even remember that one to pick.
They're already on Sunday night. I had to scroll down for them.
Yeah.
Then for my dog, I could go. I was thinking about going small dog here, and taking taking like not even small. Actually, all three of my dogs are 4 point or more. So pretty big dogs. I'm gonna go with the Kyler Murray Cardinals.
Oh, my
One
dog Chris will dap you up for that.
1 o'clock. We'll know by 3:30 ish. And I just think that Kyler Murray is gonna get it done with his legs. He's playing for his fucking job right now. Steelers defense gets takeaways, but they don't. But they allow you to get into the red zone. And Kyler Murray, once he gets into the red zone, starts cutting it up with his legs. And I think that's where they'll get the win.
No, that shit is fire, man. You definitely snap with your picks. I like those. I could definitely see you going 3-0 this week.
I hope so. I don't. We haven't had neither one of us had a 3-0 week in quite some time, but
I'm hot in it.
but this will be the week. But as always, again, if you're still here, go down, like and subscribe, comment your picks, and let us know what you thought about the Thursday night game with the Cowboys beating the Seahawks. As always, I'm Paul. Pick 'em, win 'em. Join with Kevin, Waterboy Savoy, and we'll catch you next week.
Yeah.